Welcome, everybody, to your calculus class. This is going to start out as a review of some things that we should know about functions. I know the font is really small on this, but we'll push forward anyway. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're starting out with this graph. We have a curve here. Our origin is right here. And we're going to just go through some basic questions. First off, part A, it says find the value of f of 1. Now, what that means is that x equals 1, what is y going to equal? Well, let's go to x equals 1. Y is way up here at 3. So the answer is 3. This is f of 1. Now let's find f of negative 1. This is now when x equals negative 1. Here's negative 1. And notice it says estimate because it's not on anything. I'm going to say f of negative 1 is about maybe negative 0.25. So when it says estimate and you put your guess down, you can't get marked off unless you're really off, like somewhere around there, maybe a third, maybe 0.3, something like negative 0.3. All right, next up. For what values of f of x is equal to 1? Now, here what they're saying is they're saying that when y equals 1, so here's y equals 1 here, what is x? And you'll notice y equals 1 right here, crosses here at 0, and then again here out at, that must be 3. So x equals 1 is here, and we're way out here at 3. We're going to estimate the value of x such that f of x equals 0. So again, when y equals 0, what is x? So when y equals 0, that's the x-axis. We're estimating here. I'm going to say that's about, I'll say negative 0.75. Maybe negative 0.8, maybe you see negative 0.6, whatever you think. As long as we're within the ballpark there. State the domain and range of f, and we're going to use interval notation. Now, the domain, if you remember, are all the possible x values. You can see we start at negative 2, and we go all the way up to 4. And we are including the endpoints. So we're going to put brackets. The range are the y values. Now, had we had real big open circles somewhere around here, then we would not include the endpoints. We would use parentheses. But because they don't indicate one way or the other, we're going to assume that we are including the endpoints. So now we're going up and down. And we're going to start down here at negative 1, and we're going to go all the way up to 3. Again, these are the valid y values. Now, f asks, on what interval is f increasing? Increasing means that as x is getting larger, y is getting larger. And you can see we are increasing all the way to here. Because after here, as x increases, y is decreasing. So we are increasing from, and these are going to be x values. We're going to go from negative 2. We tend to not include the endpoints. So I'm going to use parentheses here. Starting here at negative 2, and we're going all the way to here at 4. And that is problem 1. Problem 2, we have a couple of functions here. We have function f, which is the pinkish looking one, and we have the function g, which is the blue one. And part A, state the values of f of 2 and g of 3. So f of 2, we are only looking at this curve here. We're ignoring the other curve. And f of 2 is here, or I should say x equals 2 is here. F of 2 is up here. It looks like we're up there at 2. G of 3, so now I'm only looking at the blue function here. When x equals 3, 1, 2, 3, the blue is way up here at 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. So we're up here at 4. For what values of part B? For what values of x is f of x equal to g of x? Well, that's going to be right here where they are crossing. So that is going to be x equals 1 to -2. And we're crossing at +2 as well. Part C, estimate the solutions of the equation f of x equals -1. Now this is again when y equals -1, and I'm only looking at f, that's this one here. So when y equals -1, so here's -1 down here, I can see we are back here at -2, it looks like. So once again, y is down here. Y equals -1. That's this line here. Oh, it looks like we're crossing here at -1, pardon me. -1. All right. Let's fix this. I'm going to make this a little darker so we can see where the x and y axes are. There. Let's start this one again. So y equals -1 is down here. And so it looks like we're crossing here at x equals -1, 2, 3. So -3. And we are crossing -1 way over here at 4. -1, and we're at 1, 2, 3. -3, yeah. All right. On what interval